There's always that one woman who walks into a room and time seems to slow down, not because of her beauty, though she may be beautiful, not because of her charm, though she has plenty of it. It's something deeper, something unseen. People can't quite explain it. They call it aura, vibe, or energy. But Carl Jung would call it individuation, the moment a person becomes fully themselves. This woman is not trying to be desired. She is not performing, competing, or chasing anyone's attention. She is simply herself, real, grounded, and alive. Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And that's where it all begins, not in becoming what the world wants, but in becoming your truest self. The woman everyone wants is not born that way. She is created through awareness, pain, growth, and surrender. Her magnetism is not external. It is spiritual. She has learned the art of being, not seeking validation, not shrinking to please, not pretending to fit, just being. And that's what makes her unforgettable. Carl Jung believed that self-awareness is a first step toward transformation. A woman who knows herself is a force of nature. Most people live in reaction. They don't know why they do what they do, why they crave what they crave. They are moved by invisible strings, their childhood wounds, their fears, their conditioning. But the woman everyone wants has cut those strings. She has looked inside, even when it hurt. She has faced her insecurities, her doubts, her patterns. She has asked herself the hard questions. Why do I want to be loved? Who am I trying to impress? What am I afraid of losing? And when she found the answers, she didn't run. She healed. She understood that the only love worth chasing is the one she gives herself first. Self-awareness gives her confidence, not arrogance. It gives her calm, not indifference. It gives her freedom, not control. That's why people are drawn to her, because being around her feels like truth. Every woman has two sides, the light and the shadow. The light is kindness, softness, nurturing love. The shadow is power, passion, sensuality, and rage. Most women are told to suppress their shadow, to be good, nice, sweet. But Carl Jung taught that the shadow is not evil. It is energy waiting to be integrated. The woman everyone wants is not afraid of her dark side. She doesn't hide her anger, her jealousy, her sensuality. She owns them. She understands them, transforms them. Her darkness gives her depth. Her fire gives her magnetism. Her softness gives her balance. She is not light or dark. She is both. And that's what makes her irresistible. In a world that glorifies hustle and dominance, many women lose touch with their feminine core. They compete, chase, and overextend themselves, believing they must do everything to prove their worth. But the woman everyone wants, she remembers. She knows her power is not in doing, but in being. Not in chasing, but in receiving. Not in proving, but in trusting. Her feminine energy is not weak. It's magnetic. She listens to her intuition. She trusts her flow. She allows life to come to her, rather than forcing it. Carl Jung spoke of the anima, the feminine soul within all beings. When a woman aligns with this essence, she becomes radiant, creative, and at peace. Her energy feels like home. That's the power of the feminine. Not control life, but to dance with it. There is something breathtaking about a woman who doesn't chase anything. Not love, not attention, not validation. She doesn't text first out of fear. She doesn't beg to be chosen. She doesn't force outcomes. She knows her energy is valuable, and anything meant for her will find her. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." This woman has made her unconscious conscious. She no longer repeats patterns of chasing emotionally unavailable people or situations. She sits back in her power and lets what's aligned come to her. That calm confidence, that surrender, is what makes people want her even more. Because nothing is more magnetic than a woman who knows she doesn't need to chase. Every woman carries her younger self within, the inner girl who once wanted love, safety, and attention. If that little girl remains wounded, she will keep seeking what she never received. She'll overgive, overplease, and overattach. But the woman everyone wants has met that little girl. She has held her, forgiven her, and loved her back to wholeness. She no longer dates to heal wounds. She heals, then dates. She no longer gives love hoping to receive it back. She gives from overflow. When a woman heals her inner girl, her entire vibration changes. Her softness returns. Her joy blossoms. Her eyes begin to shine again. That's the woman people remember. The one whose love feels pure, not desperate. She doesn't react. She responds. She doesn't let emotions control her. She feels them, understands them, and channels them. This emotional mastery doesn't come overnight. It's built through inner work, through meditation, reflection, and the courage to feel instead of suppress. When she feels anger, she doesn't explode, she explores. When she feels sadness, she doesn't run, she listens. People trust her energy because it's grounded. Men feel safe with her. Friends open up to her because her peace is contagious. That's what makes her powerful. Her emotions are not storms anymore. They are oceans, vast, deep, calm. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors with locks, and only those with the right energy get the key. Carl Jung said that true individuality begins when we differentiate ourselves from others, when we recognize this is me and that is not. The woman everyone wants knows this truth. She doesn't let everyone have access to her heart, her body, or her energy. She knows that not everyone deserves her story, her time, or her softness. Her boundaries are not made of fear. They are made of self-respect. She says no with love and yes with intention. People are drawn to her because she has limits, and limits create value. Like a rare gem that's kept safe, her presence feels sacred. She teaches others how to treat her, not with words, but through the energy she carries. Her boundaries whisper, if you want to be in my world, bring peace, not chaos. And that, more than anything, makes her unforgettable. Sensuality is not about seduction. It's about aliveness. It's about how she touches the world and allows the world to touch her. The woman everyone wants is not afraid of her body, her pleasure, or her desires. She is connected to her senses. The smell of rain, the texture of silk, the warmth of sunlight. Jung taught that the body holds ancient wisdom. The unconscious speaks through sensations. So she listens. When she walks, she moves with grace because she feels her body, her rhythm, her pulse. When she speaks, her voice carries presence because she's not disconnected from herself. Her sensuality isn't loud. It's quiet, powerful, magnetic. People feel her without her trying. It's in her laughter, in the way she sips her tea, in the way she listens with her whole being. That's sensuality, and that's why the world can't forget her. Beauty fades, charm changes, but depth endures. The woman everyone wants doesn't live for attention. She lives for meaning. She asks bigger questions. Why am I here? What can I create? How can I leave the world better than I found it? Carl Jung believed that every soul has a purpose, a destiny written in the unconscious. The woman who follows her inner calling glows differently. Her energy feels purposeful. She's not drifting. She's walking her path. She doesn't beg for direction. She becomes a direction. Men admire her not just for her beauty, but for her vision. Friends look up to her not for her success, but for her depth. Her life has texture, meaning, and soul. That's the kind of woman everyone remembers, not the prettiest, but the most alive. She doesn't tell her whole story. She doesn't post every detail of her life. She leaves space for curiosity, imagination, and discovery. Mystery is not manipulation. It's self-respect. It's understanding that sacred things are revealed slowly. Carl Jung said that the self is like a temple. You don't reveal the inner sanctuary to everyone who knocks. The woman everyone wants knows this. She doesn't explain her silence. She doesn't chase validation through words. She understands that mystery keeps the soul awake. Because when people can't fully define you, they can't stop thinking about you. She reveals herself like poetry, one line at a time. Every powerful woman has walked through fire. Every calm smile has once been a broken cry. The woman everyone wants has suffered. But she didn't stay there. She turned her pain into power. Carl Jung taught that suffering is the soil in which consciousness grows. Through heartbreak, loss, and betrayal, She found wisdom. Through endings, she found beginnings. She doesn't fear pain anymore. She honors it. Because pain made her real. When others run from their wounds, she sits with hers. When others numb themselves, she listens. And in doing so, she becomes alchemical. She transforms everything. Grief into grace. Fear into fire. Heartbreak into wisdom. That's what makes her magnetic. She carries the sacred light of someone who has survived herself. What makes her magnetic is not beauty. It's energy. Not appearance, but essence. The woman everyone wants doesn't try to be seen. She's simply present, and the world sees her. She doesn't talk about her worth. She radiates it. She doesn't prove her value. She embodies it. Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists. What you embrace transforms." She has embraced her light, her softness, her intuition, and that's what makes her glow. Her magnetism is quiet but powerful. People feel calm around her, yet inspired. She gives without draining and receives without guilt. She's like a candle. She doesn't chase the darkness. She just shines. She has learned that silence is not emptiness. It is power. She doesn't argue with those who misunderstand her. She doesn't overexplain, overtalk, or overpromise. She lets her presence speak louder than her words. Carl Jung often spoke of the collective unconscious, a deep layer where energy communicates beyond language. Her silence operates from that realm. She knows that people feel her more than they hear her. When she does speak, it's with intention, clarity, and grace. Every word carries weight, because she doesn't waste them. Her silence commands respect. It disarms manipulation. It draws curiosity. That's why people lean closer when she finally speaks. They know her words mean something. Jung believed that every person contains both energies, the anima, feminine, and animus, masculine. The woman everyone wants has learned to balance both. Her feminine loves deeply. Her masculine protects that love. She is nurturing but not naive, soft but not weak, kind but not a doormat. Her feminine energy flows. Her masculine energy builds structure for that flow. Together, they make her stable and free. That balance gives her confidence. She doesn't collapse into others. She stands beside them. She doesn't need saving. She is her own safe place. And from that wholeness, love flows naturally. She doesn't manipulate. She uplifts. She doesn't demand attention. She earns admiration. Carl Jung said that when we heal ourselves, we unconsciously heal others too. The woman everyone wants lives as truth. Her presence inspires others to rise. Men want to be better around her. Women feel safe to be authentic around her. She doesn't control through fear. She leads through love. She doesn't want followers. She wants everyone to shine. Her power is quiet, nurturing, and transformational. Because when she walks into a room, she doesn't take energy. She raises it. She has let go of the need to be perfect. She no longer hides her flaws. She owns them. She knows that what makes her real is far more attractive than what makes her flawless. In her presence, others relax. They feel accepted, not judged. They feel human again. Carl Jung believed that wholeness, not perfection, is the goal of life. The woman everyone wants lives by that truth. Her presence feels grounding. Because she's not pretending to be an angel. She's comfortable being human. There's something sacred about her. It's not about religion. It's about connection. She trusts the universe. She listens to signs, synchronicities, intuition. She prays not out of fear, but out of faith. She knows that what's meant for her will never miss her. And what is it will simply fall away. Carl Jung saw this as a connection to the self, the divine center within every person. When a woman aligns with this energy, she becomes unstoppable. She is guided, protected, and at peace. Her life begins to flow, like the tide following the moon. She doesn't beg to be chosen. She doesn't fight for attention. She knows her worth is not determined by who wants her. It's defined by how she values herself. She invests in her growth, her peace, her joy. She surrounds herself with people who see her soul, not just her surface. Carl Jung said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." And that's exactly what she's done. She's not afraid to stand alone, because she knows she is never truly alone. She is whole. At the end of this journey, she realizes the ultimate truth. The woman everyone wants never tries to be wanted. She just is. She's not performing anymore. She's not proving, chasing, or pretending. She's living, breathing, glowing. Her power comes from authenticity. Her beauty comes from her soul. Her peace comes from trust. Carl Jung's teachings all lead to one thing: the integration of the whole self. And when a woman becomes whole, she becomes magnetic to love, success, peace, and destiny. So don't chase being wanted. Chase being you. Because the moment you do, the universe rearranges itself to meet you where you are. And in that moment, you don't just become the woman everyone wants. You become the woman you were always meant to be. Red Heart,